In Japan, there is a legend of a creature whose beauty is as overwhelming as its power is dangerous, a spirit that can be the embodiment of loyalty or the architect of the cruelest betrayal. They are not mere yokai, nor wholly benevolent deities. They are the Kitsune, Japan's enigmatic mystic foxes. To understand them, one must abandon Western notions of good and evil and enter a world where love can be the most perfect illusion and wisdom can be born from deception. They are proof that the most beautiful things are often the wildest and most perilous. When one thinks of a kitsune, the image that often comes to mind first is not an animal, but a woman of supernatural beauty, a figure of graceful bearing, with eyes that hold ancient secrets and a smile that can promise paradise or perdition. This is her most common mask, her most powerful tool. But behind that human facade lies an ancient, magical nature whose true power is revealed not in her face, but in her tales. A kitsune begins life with a single tale, but with each passing century, as her wisdom and magical power grow, a new tale may appear. This is the measure of her age, strength, and power. Upon reaching the 1,000-year mark, she stands at the peak of her power and bears 9 tails, becoming a Kyubi no Kitsune, a creature of near-divine might whose fur may gleam with celestial white or gold. It is said that at this stage she acquires omniscience, able to see and hear all that happens in the world. Yet this immense power flows in 2 distinct currents, dividing the Kitsune race into 2 opposing factions. On one side are the Zenko, the good foxes. They are the celestial servants of the Shinto deity Inari Okami, the goddess of rice, fertility, and prosperity. The Zenko are the guardians of Vermilion Torre gates, divine messengers who bring good fortune, bountiful harvests, and protection to faithful families. Usually depicted with pure white fur, they represent the benevolent, protective side of the legend. On the other end of the spectrum lurk the Yako, the wild foxes, also known as Nogitsune. They serve no divine master and act according to their own whims. They are tricksters, seducers, and illusionists. While a Zenko might guide you out of a lost forest, a Yako is more likely to conjure the illusion of an opulent palace in the middle of nowhere, only for you to wake the next day in a muddy swamp, stripped of your belongings and your dignity. They are the source of the darker tales of possession and madness. Together, these 2 factions form the foxes' complex society. But where did this fascinating creature come from? The word kitsune itself has a poetic origin. One legend tells of a nobleman named Ono who married the woman of his dreams. They lived happily and had a child, but one day Ono's wife was attacked by a dog, and in her terror revealed her true fox form and fled into the forest. Desolate, Ono cried out to her, "Kitsune," which can be rendered as "come sleep." Every night, she returned as a woman to his arms, departing each morning as a fox. The name thus encapsulates the creature's dual nature, the animal and the lover, the wild and the civilized. Her connection with the divine through Inari cemented her place in Japan's spiritual pantheon. Foxes, seen hunting pests in the rice fields, became natural protectors of the people's sustenance, and this observation of the natural world blossomed into a deep, enduring spiritual belief. The kitsune's best-known ability is henge, the art of shape-shifting. They can transform not only into beautiful women, but into men, elders, or even inanimate objects to deceive the unwary. They are supreme masters of illusion, capable of weaving entire landscapes out of nothing. A kitsune can make a handful of dry leaves look like gold coins, or make an abandoned hut resemble a luxurious mansion. Their will-o'-the-wisp, kitsunebi, are ghostly flames they can spit forth or raise with a flick of their tails, mysterious lights that lure travelers to their doom or illuminate secret paths. But perhaps their most feared power is kitsunetsuki, fox possession. A yako can invade the body and mind of a mortal, often a young woman, forcing her to behave erratically, speak unknown tongues, or subsist solely on fried tofu. the fox's favorite food. Exorcism was often the only way to free young women from such possessing spirits, a complex rite commonly performed at Inari shrines in the hope that a divine fox sent by the goddess Inari might drive out its wild cousin. No story better illustrates the Kitsune's duality than the legends of their most intimate dealings with humanity. One is the tale of Kuzunoha, the most famous of the benevolent fox wives. The legend says that Abe no Yasuna, a nobleman, saved a beautiful white fox from a hunter. Soon after, he met and fell in love with a lovely woman named Kuzunoha. They married and had a son, Seimei. Years later, while Kuzunoha was distracted, her child glimpsed the tip of her foxtail peeking out from her robe. With her identity revealed, she was forced to return to her home in the forest. But before leaving, she left a moving farewell poem promising her husband and son that they could visit her. Her son grew up to become the greatest onmyoji in Japan's history, Abe no Seimei. His extraordinary mystical powers are direct inheritance from his Kitsune mother. In this legend, she is the Kitsune in her most noble role, the loyal lover, the protective mother whose supernatural blood blesses her lineage. But for every love story, there is also a tale of terror, and none more terrifying than the legend of Tamamo-no-Mae. She was no ordinary Kitsune. She was a Kyubi no Kitsune of unimaginable power and unfathomable malice. Her legend spread across Asia. In China, she was Daji, the concubine who brought the Shang dynasty to ruin. In India, she sowed chaos and destruction. At last she came to Japan as the most beautiful and brilliant courtesan at the court of Emperor Kono. The emperor fell gravely ill, his life force ebbing day by day. The court astrologer, a descendant of Seimei himself, master of Onmyodo, used his arts and uncovered the truth. The emperor's beloved was the nine-tailed fox, draining his life to increase her own power. Unmasked, Tamamo-no-Mae revealed her true form and fled. An army was sent in pursuit, and after an epic battle she was finally defeated. But her hatred was so potent that even in death, her spirit infused a volcanic rock, creating the Seisho Seki, the killing stone, which exuded poisonous gases and slew any living creature that approached. These two legends reveal the two poles of the Kitsune's existence. One is the promise of transcendent love, the other, the certainty of absolute destruction. And that leads us to the most fundamental and dangerous trait of a Kitsune, her deceptive nature. Creatures like the Tengu are defined by pride. The Kitsune is defined by duality. Meeting one is like flipping a coin. You may be facing a benevolent spirit who will bring you luck, or a demon that will drain your soul. The truth is never clear, and uncertainty is the essence of her power. Today, the Kitsune's legacy is more vibrant than ever. They're pop culture stars. In Naruto, we see the destructive and ultimately redemptive power of the Ninetails, Kurama. In Pokemon, Vulpix and Ninetales are a direct homage to the legend. In games like Ghost of Tsushima, following foxes leads to hidden shrines, an echo of their role as spiritual guides. And in the Sonic games, we have the character Tails, a two-tailed fox, a clear nod to his mythic multi-tailed kin. In Japan, belief in Kitsune still lingers in subtle ways. The expression Kitsune no Yomeri, or the fox's wedding, is used to describe rain falling on a sunny day, a phenomenon seen as a portent of a Kitsune wedding. Thousands of fox statues still guard Inari shrines, serving as intermediaries between the world of humans and that of the gods. And for all these reasons, the Kitsune remains the most captivating of Japanese creatures. She is a force of nature, the personification of intelligence and cunning, a divine guardian who can be mortally dangerous, a symbol of love that teaches us about illusion. They embody nature's seductive beauty and hidden peril, and remind us that hearts, human and fox alike, keep deep secrets, that trust is a gamble, and that love is, at times, the most powerful and dangerous magic of all.